Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We begin at 5 with Exact Track 4D radar. Here we go again. The forewarned weather team is tracking the threat of storms moving in tonight.
Now, take a live look outside from our Windsor Skycam. You can see the haze from the Canadian wildfires is sticking around at this hour. The entire region under a level 1 severe storm threat with this hot, steamy weather.
So let's get right over to meteorologist Brian Sherman with the latest. He's in for Kim Adams tonight. Brian, you've been warning us about this all week.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for at least 48 to 72 hours. Ty and Karen, Exact Track 4D radar, not as busy as we were anticipating. That's a good thing at this point, although we do have a few rain showers we are tracking just to the north and east of Metro Detroit. So out of Macomb County, from Columbus, working down toward Casco, then working up toward Port Huron, seeing a few showers as well, working across the Canadian-U.S. border. Outside of that, a few showers showing up northwest of Metro Detroit. So we're talking Owasso over towards Saginaw, as well as down toward Jackson. We'll get down there seeing a few showers as well. Here, Waterloo, there's I-94 coming out of Washtenaw County. So most of us dry, although we are harding onto a few showers and then a few thunderstorms possible through the rest of the evening and overnight hours tonight. Cloud cover outside our window over downtown Detroit. I'll talk about when we get a break from the shower and thunderstorm activity. Details in your full 4-1 forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks so much. Air quality hitting unhealthy levels for millions in the Midwest and millions more at risk in the days to come.
So take a look right now. Live pictures coming in from north of us on Drummond Island. Smoke from out-of-control Canadian wildfires has been pouring into the southeast, causing all that trouble. So now there's a new threat. A dust plume from Africa could soon be hitting the U.S. as well, and you can see the effects in our sky. 2 viewer photos, one from a hazy day over in Marine City from Kathy Rohrig, and a smoky sunrise in St. Clair from Lori Hannon, show the impact of the wildfires around Metro Detroit.
It has been one bombshell after the next in the city of Hamtramck. Investigations just keep piling up over the past 3 months. The chaos really started in early March with an investigation into election fraud. Since then, there's been allegations that some city council members don't live in the city where they serve, and the suspension of the police chief and the city manager. Most recently, a lawsuit dropped against the mayor with some wild accusations. So what's going on in Hamtramck? Our Lauren Kostick is live with the details. Lauren, it's getting difficult to keep track of all the dysfunction.
Ty, that's right. Yeah, this is a lot to follow. Of course, one of the main subjects in all this is the suspended police chief. He is facing some serious and somewhat wild accusations. And today we spoke with him for the first time since he went on leave. Just weeks after his suspension, Hamtramck Police Chief Jamil Al-Tahiri doubling down on his innocence, speaking to Local 4 for the first time since the allegations broke, declining an on-camera interview, but saying, "I know myself, I am innocent, this is literally fabricated." When asked about the allegations, he said, "They are false, they are all false." It all comes during a flurry of controversies plaguing City Hall, all of it happening in a 3-month span. First, an election fraud investigation. In March, the Attorney General filed a petition accusing council members of illegally handling absentee ballots to get votes. Then, a month later, another investigation into the residency of 2 councilmen.
I disagree for the investigation.
State police saying Tuesday that investigation is still ongoing. Then, on May 21st, the police chief suspended, following several allegations, including a multi-million-dollar presidential pardon scheme. And just days later, the city manager also put on leave after a heated exchange with the mayor.
We made the peace in the PD with you, so I let that go.
And then the next day I heard from the news you suspended him.
All of it coming to a head Monday when a lawsuit was filed by the city manager and the police officer who made the allegations.
It reads out of a season of The Sopranos.
And yesterday, the mayor also confirming an independent investigation into all of this. In the meantime, residents left wanting answers and accountability. So a lot happening out here in Hamtramck with allegations being thrown out left and right. There is a city council meeting scheduled for next Tuesday where we could see this all come to a head. Live in Hamtramck, Lauren Kostick, Local 4.
And Lauren, adding fuel to all this, there's an election coming up as well.
Right, yeah, we have an election going on too, so we know there are 3 council seats on the ballot and also the mayor's position. So Ty, we'll have to see how that all plays out.
Yes, we will. Hopefully things settle down at some point. Lauren, great reporting.
Take a look at this. It's police body camera video showing the chaos in the aftermath of a shooting that injured 9 people on Detroit's west side. A new lawsuit claims some of the gunshots came from a Detroit police officer recklessly shooting into a crowd. Let's get out to our Jay Scott Smith. He's live this evening for us. And Jay, you spent all day working to try to get some more answers about this. What'd you find out?
Well, first and foremost, Karen, this is a very kind of intricate lawsuit. It stems, of course, as you mentioned, from the fallout from that block party and the shooting that occurred just a little over a year ago. And this particular lawsuit is pointing squarely at the feet of the Detroit Police Department. Amidst the chaos that was happening in the early morning hours of June 1st, 2024, on the corner of Florence and Trinity, body camera footage shows a female Detroit police officer rushing into the dark backyard of the home where a shootout reportedly happened about 45 minutes earlier. At 1:49 a.m., she spots a young man with a gun and yells at him to drop the weapon. Instead, he runs away, and as the officer attempts to give chase, she stumbles and falls face first off the porch. What happens next, according to the lawsuit, is what ended 19-year-old Imani Peterson's life. The officer, while still on the ground, proceeds to fire 4 shots into the darkness and then gets to her feet and lets off a 5th before ordering everyone to get down. Get down! At the same time, at the front of the house, a second male officer arrives as backup, and as he walks into the yard, he sees the young man start running. It's unclear whether he fires a shot or if the gunshots heard in the background were from the first officer. During a press conference following the incident, Police Chief Todd Bettison described the incident as a chaotic scene.
We need more units. We need more units. It was 2 units there. It was a lot of folks, a lot of gunfire, and that, on the side of the house, dark, responding. It was a less than desirable situation. Whether they were shot unintentionally or intentionally, it's not a good day when an officer has to use force like that.
Ballistics evidence found that it was the officer who shot Peterson, along with another innocent bystander and the intended target. Peterson was shot in the stomach and was hospitalized for 2 weeks before succumbing to her injuries on June 15th, 2024. The officer who fired the shots was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. The suit was filed on Tuesday in federal court. It alleges the police department and the city of Detroit used excessive force, violated Peterson's civil rights, and that the 2 officers were grossly negligent. Peterson's family is seeking $25 million in damages, and the claim includes compensation for medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Now, throughout the day today, I've been reaching out to parties on both sides of this. The Detroit Police Department got back to me and said simply they do not comment on pending litigation. Meanwhile, I also reached out to attorneys for Peterson's family as well as Peterson's mother, Saria Joyce. I have not heard back from them, and they have yet to make anything else public in regards to this lawsuit, so we're definitely going to have to wait and see. Outside of police headquarters in downtown Detroit, I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4. Let's head back to the studio.
$25 million. Will be interesting to see how this plays out.
All right, let's go to live pictures of the White House on this Wednesday afternoon. Today, President Trump's 50% tariffs on steel and aluminum kicked in. Now the president says U.S. trade partners should come to his administration with their best offers. Meantime, the president held a high-stakes call with Vladimir Putin. President Trump's massive congressional bill taking 2 big hits. The first from the close Trump ally Elon Musk, and the second from the Congressional Budget Office. Today, the nonpartisan CBO projecting the spending package focused on the president's agenda will add $2.4 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. And lawmakers are reeling from the attacks by Musk, who called the bill a disgusting abomination.
We were texting one another, happy texts, Monday. And then yesterday, 24 hours later, he does a 180.
He's entitled to that opinion. We're going to proceed full speed ahead.
Musk, the architect behind federal government firings and the gutting of several agencies, says the bill is pork-filled, and some Republicans agree.
We're spending too much money. That's the reason we've got it in front of us right now.
Still, most GOP lawmakers are defending the bill, saying there's a lot more work and cutting to be done.
I think he believes, in my judgment correctly, that we're quickly becoming debt slaves. Having said that, I'm not ready to throw in the towel on this bill.
And while President Trump fights a battle on Capitol Hill, he's also trying to find a way to end the war in Ukraine. Today, he said he spoke with Russian President Putin for more than an hour. The president calling it a good conversation, but not one that will lead to immediate peace. That's quite a change in tone from last week when President Trump called the Russian leader absolutely crazy.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin.
Back then, the Kremlin responded saying President Trump was suffering from an emotional overload. Now, peace talks continue as the war rages on.
Well, this week, the president is scheduled to speak with another world leader, China's President Xi, and they are expected to talk about the ongoing trade negotiations between the two countries.